Hello, this is Alec Kerr, the film critic for the Conway Daily Sun, and this week I want to talk about Dwayne Johnson, who this year is really going to be everywhere, at least in the first half of the year. He's already appeared in Snitch and G.I. Joe Retaliation. He's going to be in Pain and Gain in a couple weeks, and then in May he's going to be in Fast and the Furious 6. I've liked Dwayne Johnson as an actor for some time. I don't watch professional wrestling at all, so I didn't have any interest in The Rock or The Rock persona, and from clips I have seen of it, I get it's an act, it's a performance, and it doesn't really do anything for me. He is such a charismatic person. He's just naturally charming and likable and funny, and that comes across in his films, and he actually has turned into a decent actor as far as kind of action star actors go. And he really is the only modern action star we have. All these other, maybe him and Jason Statham, but you have all these aging action stars who this year have been dusted off to star in films that haven't done well. You had Arnold Schwarzenegger did Last Stand, and then Stallone did Bullet to the Head, and they didn't do very well. Even Jason Statham's big release this year, Parker, didn't do very well. I guess they only work when they're all together in the Expendables movie. So there was some discussion that action movies were dead and that people didn't want to go see action films anymore with these old stars. But who was the new star going to be? And Dwayne Johnson, The Rock if you prefer, has really been proving himself to be kind of the action star of the day right now. And I think the key is that, kind of like Arnold back in his day, is that he has a sense of humor about himself. He's not afraid to be a little bit silly, a little bit goofy. He's done some kids' films. He's not afraid to look absurd. Like, I actually really enjoyed Journey 2 last year, and he's kind of become a franchise saver. They bring him in, and a lot of times it's not necessarily a series that's failing, but that it rejuvenates it. The Fast and the Furious series, for example, it was flatlining, and then they did Fast and Furious 4, where they brought all the original cast members back, and people really responded to that. And then they did Fast and Furious 5, and they brought Dwayne Johnson in as the antagonist for that film, and it just upped everything up. Journey to Mysterious Island last year, the first one starred Brendan Fraser. It did very well, but Brendan Fraser wasn't really a draw anymore, so they needed to retool the film series, and bringing him in along with Michael Caine really rejuvenated that. And same with G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe, the first film in that series, did well, but it's not very well regarded in retrospect. And so bringing in Dwayne Johnson kind of upped the ante for that one as well. And he's just likable. I think that's the key, is that he is just a very likable presence, and people like to spend time with him. People are willing to follow him, and I will gladly go see a movie starring Dwayne Johnson because his public persona he seems like a nice guy, and that goes a long way, I think. Anyway, this is Alec, and come back next week for another Real Thoughts. Bye.